Hill Heat.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Twitter for the most honest and unfiltered review of AEW Dynamite around. It is AEWramble episode 59. Bases loaded. I am here with my esteemed colleague, the man of nearly 46,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and AEW, which apparently you're going to get a lot of that on today's show, Jimmy Macram.
It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a great show. And by a great show, I mean a show that's impossibly average, but all of you are going to overrate for some reason. I don't know, but feel free.
We're already starting. That's where we're starting. We're starting from where we were at during our pre-show meeting. That's why we're a little bit late for anyone who gets annoyed with us when we start late. It's because we had a pre-show meeting where we disagreed that much on the September 14th edition of AEW Dynamite that Jimmy Macram had to hold it in for all 2 minutes of our intro before getting that out.
I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
Of course, if this is your first time joining us on AEWramble, we are here every Thursday, 1-5 p.m. Eastern Time, reviewing the Wednesday night episode of AEW Dynamite. So if you haven't already, drop a thumbs up on the video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're a regular, of course, sound off in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts on last night's edition of AEW Dynamite. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible, but the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen, if you want me and Jimmy to discuss it, is with a super chat donation. It's the best way to show your support for the contributors here as well as the channel overall, and it helps out everyone as well. We got a couple in the live chat here, like Negro Buck, Dick Jackson saying bases loaded indeed. What's up, my good brothers? Can't wait for Grand Slam next week. Yeah. We got CM, the Jimmy Macram attorney. She says BCC gonna have a new champ. Indeed. Guarantee next week. BCC, new champ. EBB says Tony Khan was like, all right, Hangman, you've had 2 matches this month. That's one too many. Get the fuck off my TV.
It's the worst booked show on television. Easily.
There's got to be another show worse booked.
I don't. Is NXT any good? Maybe. That show probably stinks, but everything else.
I mean, they did get the black and gold back in their logo.
Damn, can't beat the development / fucking tertiary brand beat.
It's gonna be the third. It's gonna be the third brand. Someone from the main roster just won their secondary title. Third brand.
I love it. Yeah, okay. The third brand. But like, you don't have to guess which one's 3, right? That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes in quality you did. Sometimes equality, you did.
They're all equal. It's like the black and white water fountains. They're equal. What are you talking about? Wipe that doodle off that one and fucking drink it, Negro. Equals. Separate and equal.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
If you're new to the channel or new to the show, that is our disclaimer for whenever Jimmy Macram says something that might cross somebody's line or somebody might get offended. Just letting the people know. Nothing to say following that. All right, we're going to move on here. Highlight some more comments. We got Bone Daddy who says, THH AEW, we are all here for the disclaimers. Let's hear the real truth. We got Will Chisholm who says, I need Jimmy versus Tony Khan in Blood and Guts.
If he's on cocaine, I might be in trouble, but otherwise, I got him. I strangle him slowly, quite frankly. Unless he made that face, then I might feel bad. Like, oh, Jesus. It's like killing a puppy.
As he cowers in the corner, he's like, "Where is Jimmy Macram, baby?"
He needs to cut his hair. He looks semi-decent there. Now he looks ridiculous. His fucking spangly jackets. Shut up. It's not a fucking
looks hobo-y.
Diddy video. You get to work. Oh, I hate him so much.
And CM yelling for her client, saying, "Folks get offended by everything,
don't they? Don't they?"
You can't help yourself because people get offended by everything, right?
I gotta be honest, I do enjoy offending people. It is a vice. It's a vice, I freely admit.
a freely admitted vice that you can definitely change, but choose not to. He's looking at another comment. So let's move into the show last night. Sound off in the comments. Like I said, we'd love to hear those. If you're watching us on demand, you can also let us know in the comments down below what you thought about the September 14th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite that we're going to discuss here from Albany, New York. Our I guess brothers, sisters from up north of New York. What did you think about the crowd last night?
I forget who it was, but somebody described WWE crowds to me as they pop for the big spots, they pop for intros, they pop for this. It felt like that. I was like, Jesus.
You know you're gonna hate me when I say this, but literally, I think Dave Meltzer had the same assessment of the crowd.
Oh.
He was like, it was very much a WWE crowd. They pop for the entrances, they pop for the finishes. That was about it. Oh, nice spot.
What a nice spot. I was like, ugh.
What a nice flippy flip.
Fucking Dragon and Jericho putting on fucking Shakespeare out there, and they're just like, oh, that's
I was like, in front of any other card, I think I would lead the argument for that was a 5-star main event. I think I would have led the argument if the crowd was hotter. If it was in Chicago, if it was next week for Grand Slam, if that was the heavyweight championship match, that quality.
Otherwise, they were just like, all right, can we skip to the finish, please? I felt that, to be fair, though, I felt that a couple times that night. I'll be quiet. We'll get to it. Love you, Stokely, but Jesus, speed this shit up.
We will get to it. Yeah, I'm sure we will. But yes, AEW Dynamite open with Excalibur welcoming us to the show, joined at commentary by Tony Schiavone, Taz, and Lord Steven Regal, because we were starting off with a member of the Blackpool Combat Club in the AEW Tournament of Champions that continued on AEW Rampage. This was the bracket to begin the night on the show. Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson in our main event. And now we got Moxley versus Guevara to open the show. Moxley coming out, of course, through the crowd to Wild Thing. You got Sammy Guevara coming out with a nice new jacket, but apparently he was upset because he got no pyro, so he looked pretty stupid opening his hands and nothing coming out like his usual intro. Moxley grounded Guevara early, but Guevara responded with corner strikes. Guevara jaw-jacked with the crowd and was turned inside out with the Moxley lariat. During a chop battle, Moxley faked taking a nap, but Guevara sent him outside with 2 dives. Guevara drove Moxley's head into the ring steps, but Moxley quickly recovered and sent Guevara into the railing. Moxley couldn't stay in control long as Guevara posted him and headed to the ring for a 2 count. Guevara escaped a rear naked choke quickly to remain in control. An attempted power driver on the apron was reversed into the old school dirty deeds by Moxley. And look at this sell. Oh my God. This was like, I felt like I was watching a murder. Just dropped it on his head, like in that cell by Guevara. He broke the count at 7 and was back raked by Moxley, bit and planted with a butterfly suplex off the middle rope for 2. Guevara countered a submission into a Boston Crab momentarily. Shades of his mentor, Chris Jericho. GTH was countered into the Bulldog choke by Moxley as he transitioned into the Hammer and Anvil elbows. Guevara got a near fall on the double jump cutter. That it looked really good here because he almost looked like he fell on the first jump, but then he recovered. So it was a nice recovery there. At this point, after an avalanche German suplex by Moxley on Guevara off the top rope, we got Anna JAS and Ty Mello who come out. Anna distracts the referee as Ty Mello hits a big low blow on Moxley. He sells it big time. But Guevara is not able to recover. He hits a couple of strikes in winning a strike battle between him and Moxley. In the end, he goes for the GTH, but Moxley recovers, lands on his feet, and hits the Death Rider to get the victory and to move on to next week's Grand Slam AEW World Championship matchup in the Tournament of Champions Finals. Moxley get in the ring, complaining to the referee, like, how did you not see me get low blowed? But I thought this was a fun opener. These guys' styles kind of work well with each other. Moxley being the brawler, Guevara having to show a little bit more aggression, but still relying on his agility to try to get the win. But Moxley just being the gritty veteran that he is, getting the win in the end, overcoming the odds.
All of that, but taken down several notches. It was fine. The chemistry is fine. Match was fine. Finish was fine. It was fine. It was what it was. I didn't like this match. I gotta be honest. I didn't. And I love Moxley. I tried my best. I just cannot. All of this is goofy. I'm sorry. Anna J and them running down, and then the kick in the dick, which not really in the dick. It's just like, ugh. Yawn. Oh, boo. And now fucking Moxley and Sammy are exchanging strikes. Like, really? Forget the way they look. But the character's built up. Like, they're really going to sit there and exchange elbows and chops. Moxley and Sammy.
Yeah. That was believable to me.
Yeah, fucking Stone Cold and fucking Rey Mysterio exchanging right hands. Would you stop? That's not how this works. Oh, boo. Boo. Boo all of this. Dude, you know it's not real. Would you shut up? It stinks.
Why do you? I think this is a thing against Sammy and his style. You don't believe him going strike for strike with Jon Moxley?
Stick to your fucking.
Even if Jon Moxley's been worn out?
Worn out from what?
He's taken a hell of a beating in this matchup. And over the last couple of months.
You beat him up worse. What are we doing? Sammy over the last couple of months. You fucking did nothing in the last fucking 2 episodes of this fucking AEW television show. Why are we having an even exchange here? Oh, boo. I hated this.
He had a grueling.
You want to talk about it more? I dislike it. I went from it was fine to I didn't like it to I hated it. But whatever.
I know this escalated quite quickly.
Yawn. We know Sammy's not winning. At least we hope not. Skip this shit. Let's go. Speed this shit up. Let's do his flips. Let Moxley hit him with some hard strikes. We can do this the fucking interference spot. Though I'd prefer if they were already out there. I hate motherfuckers running down because it makes it even more obvious. Let's just get to it. Get to it.
He's like, skip the middleman here. He's like, pronto, Tonto. Come on.
I think Sammy had a wedgie at some point. It was distracting.
Oh, man. That was nasty.
Sammy's pasty ass cheeks in my face.
I didn't enjoy that part. That was that part. That part, no. That part wasn't for me at all. I just like the style clash. You know, Moxley being the brawler and the striker, making Sammy bring out a different side of him is very reminiscent of like Tomohiro Ishii matches in New Japan. He brings out the fighting spirit in his opponents, and Moxley was trying to bring that out of Sammy.
How can I put this? This is
I know there's nothing I can say to convince you.
No, I'm going to try to explain my position without being a dickhead. Okay. It's a struggle.
This should be interesting.
Okay, you cannot break the consistency of it. So if Moxley is exchanging right hands with Sammy and he feels nothing, so much so that he decides to lay down on the canvas like none of this really hurts, why do we then keep going? If you're that much stronger than he is, why are we still exchanging right hands? Just beat him up. Then Sammy's got to adjust, so he starts flipping. I don't want you to bring out anything in Sammy. Just get to the flips. Get to the flipping part. That's the way you win.
He wasn't really exchanging like fists with him. It was really the kicks that was getting Sammy the advantage.
And then we were exchanging chops. And if these chops mean that little, let's not do it. What's the whole point of it? Would you exchange chops in an actual fight if they didn't work? You accidentally chop somebody and it worked. You'd be like, oh shit, I'm going to do that again. If it didn't work, we would stop and go back to throwing punches. I'm sorry. I know we all love Moxley. I love Moxley, but enough.
He's like this is where I draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. This is the line. It's been drawn.
You know, the last time we saw him was against Punk, which was a great fucking match because it felt like they were equals.
It was. We got EBB who says, "Ooh, the psychology I see in that move is astounding. How splendid!" Claps. We also got Negro Buck who says enjoyed seeing the old dirty deeds. We also got Dan Snide with a super chat donation. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. We appreciate it, good brother. Saying, why does a 2-minute squash match occupy 15 minutes of TV time? Why? I guess he's basically echoing what Jimmy Macram is.
I don't know about 2 minutes, but if we can go 8, 10. We want to stretch it. 15 minutes. This is not Sammy of 2 years ago. Let's not pretend like it is. Nobody wants to see him go 15 minutes with Jon Moxley. It's over. The shine is worn off.
We got EBB who says decent match. I don't like Anna and Ty just not wrestling at all, though. Ty's momentum from last year is gone. Why not use her as another needed heel in the division? Wrestling.
Because she's a great fucking babyface and she's a boring heel. She was great. There was a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, if you would have asked me, I would have went Go Baker. If you mean pick like women's division, Go Baker, Jade, and then Ty Conti would have been third because she was great. But fucking yawn. That's Sammy shit. Fucking Dummy Khan's love of young people and their relationships apparently is ruined Ty Conti. You almost ruined Dante Martin with fucking Sky Blue. This stinks. Stop putting them together because you enjoy thinking about them fucking. It's not interesting. Not to me, at least.
It's a little bit gross. Just saying, just a little bit. We got
like pretty sniff, sniff, sniff. Enough.
We got Romeo who says Shawn Michaels and Mankind did this match 5,000 times.
Unfair comparison.
I know, like that's so unfair. That's so unfair to say.
Not as good as Shawn Michaels and fucking Mankind. Oh
yeah, like
maybe not.
One of the greatest WWE matches of the 90s. Yeah, it's not better than that. Like, god damn it! Like that's such a douchey thing to even bring up. I know you just watched it again because we do that. Rewind, check it out on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. But
I can't wait to MJF.
There's no reason to bring this up, huh?
Once we do this MJF promo, I'm going to end it with, "It was better when Ric Flair did it."
Basically, you could say that. You could say that about a lot of heel promos nowadays, honestly. We also got in the live chat here. Keep those live chat comments coming, and of course, super chat donations, especially like Dan Slide did earlier. He says a lot of stiff chops tonight, definitely. And I will say, what made the match okay with their chop battle, it was put to shame later on in the main event.
It's almost like we should have done it if we know that's going to happen in the main event too. Who would have thought?
There you go. Dan Side also adds Mox vacation is not having to bleed for 6 weeks. There you go. There's your consolation. Well, you gotta still come to work, but you don't have to bleed.
I really hope he gets to take it, though, judging by MJS promo. I doubt it.
Unfortunately, he looks like he's going to be a transitional champion again. But speaking of MJF, we got a word from Excalibur as Moxley was celebrating his win in the opener that MJF was causing a scene backstage and demanding a microphone as they went to commercial. He comes out and he is not with the shits from last week. He doesn't want to get cheered this week, so he immediately has his music cut off. He storms to the ring and said he's not the kid who Moxley faced in 2020. He's not playing a character. Moxley is, and he's a joke. MJF said Moxley built a good character and the fans buy it, but he doesn't. He knows Moxley is the same scared little boy and will drown his troubles in alcohol like a drunk. He talks about Moxley's book. He also warns Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson, saying bad things happen when people get in MJF's way, so stay away from Grand Slam. MJF said when Moxley came back from rehab, he was mentioning beating his demons and his demons following him around like a dark cloud. He warns Moxley that if he doesn't tread lightly, he is that demon that Moxley can't slay. MJF brought out his best friend since age 19, Stokely Hathaway, and the Firm. Hathaway, W. Morrissey, Lee Moriarty, the Guns, Austin and Colton, as well as Ethan Page came down with Stokely Hathaway. Hathaway said he told MJF he couldn't quit AEW and he'd be giving the fans what they wanted. And Hathaway said all of his henchmen are on retainer, and whenever MJF doesn't need them, they'll go their separate ways. Hathaway said everything he's done since being in AEW has been strategic, from hanging out with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter to watching Living Single with the House of Black. That popped me so much. That popped me so much when he said that, ladies and gentlemen. That was one of the greatest lies in the history of AEW. Hathaway then goes around to each member of the Firm. He gives W. Morrissey a hug, who sells it like that. He goes to Lee Moriarty, who's got new green hair, and he says that Lee Moriarty will bring the honor back to the Ring of Honor pure title. He goes to the Guns and he says that they want the tag team gold and they will not live in the shadow of their broke ass daddy anymore. And then he goes to Heath and Page saying that he's a man he's known for a decade and he wants to represent his country as the next All Atlantic champion. He says they are the Firm, either run with them or run from them. I thought that this was good from Stokely Hathaway, just good. MJF's promo was excellent. An excellent MJF heel promo, just sticking to what he knows best, putting the heat on Moxley, making you want to see Moxley punch his teeth down his mouth, which what most great heels is supposed to do. MJF did it spectacularly. Stokely's promo was a little too long in the tooth, but I guess this was the promo that we needed really last week. We got it. What did you think?
I think that said it all. I don't talk about MJF. MJF is great. He's always great. This is not even his best promo in the last 2 weeks, but it was fucking fantastic. That's what he does. As for Stokely, he's great, but this is 2 promos in one. This is a lot all at once, number one. Number two, I have to turn this off. I don't need any more fucking Romeo comments. Shut up. Yes, he did. That's not the point. Stokely was great, but we needed the first half of this promo last week. MJF has his own retainer, yada, 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 yada. And then their goals this week, because though, to be honest, I have no real faith in this group. Stokely's great, but not enough to carry 5 mid-carders. 5? Yeah,
I mean, Ethan Page should be a main event.
Where? Oh, gosh, you know what? To be fair, we have cleared up quite a bit of space, so maybe Ethan Page can get up there.
So someone got to be elevated in all this mess. I'm just saying.
Punk Omega out with Hangman and Doghouse. Sure, we got some space. Step right in. But otherwise,
you really think Hangman's in the doghouse?
yes, he's been in the doghouse since he lost the belt. He was in the doghouse when he had the belt.
No, it was when he cut that promo up. it was like, he was like, yeah, they thought I was booking you bad before. Take this, man. You done pissed off CM Punk. She.
I gotta be honest. I without Jade, I don't like this group. And apparently, this is what Stokely's moving on to. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, because that's what I got from the promo as well. That it kind of sounded like he's leaving Jade behind, and that he was just a publicist to kind of get his foot in the door, and now this is gonna be his new thing, which I'm all for. I mean, that should be the point of any great manager, is to put over people that can't really talk from themselves. The Guns are one of those people. W. Morrissey has a great look. He's a big man that's needed, a big man that could still have credibility or build credibility, unlike Lance Archer, who's perfectly fine as that role. You just beat him to death. That he no longer has credibility in that role. So someone new in the mix, I don't mind. It's just like Ethan Page in the group. Lee Moriarty is another one that does need a manager, but Ethan Page doesn't really. So unless this group is a vehicle to push Ethan Page up the card, which is not much because he's really been like a stash mid-carder since he's come in. If you can even get him up to upper mid-carder, like he's always a TNT title contender, that's better than what he's been doing.
I don't hate that. However, we can't do all this at once. We can't get all 5 of these guys over at once. It's an impossibility. If everybody's over, nobody's over. That's kind of how that works. Like, what if everybody in the world is great? Well, then everybody in the world is average. That's what that means. I don't know. If you push Page above all of this, as you should, then I'm here for it. Otherwise, we're just a bunch of motherfuckers running around waiting for MJF to need us. We just gotta be honest. All I got from this, we're gonna be irrelevant until MJF needs us. Then we're his gang. You might as well have us wear balaclavas. Like, on.
just make them no-name mass men that just MJF hires. I think in Tony Khan's mind, he's like, this is like the AEW Shield, but it's really the AEW.
He is fucking in love with no-name ass groups. Like, this feels very Hardy Family Office to me. That was my immediate thought.
Yes,
it feels very
yes,
bunch
it
of
did.
niggas running around doing nothing. I don't get it. Push the Butcher. Where's the Butcher at? Goddamn shame.
I know they were in Buffalo, and the Butcher and the Blade is from Buffalo last week, and they didn't even get camera time then.
Fucking egregious. Fuck it. So far we're 0-2 on the show.
No, we're not.
No, my bad.
The MJF part was excellent, and I enjoyed the opener. I thought the opener was a fun opener.
The part was great. 1 for 3. I'm going to split MJF and Stokely. 1 for 3.
Oh man, my boy Blue says Romeo out here being a menace. He says Paul Heyman cut this promo 5,000 times better. Oh man, Annika says douche MJF is back. Yeah, I love how the fans really wanted to cheer him in Albany, but he immediately was like, nope, not this week,
at all.
Not this week.
I need some
not
different
playing those games this week.
I kind of hope he costs Moxley the belt. That's an awkward.
I would, that would add to it, and it would make the feud feel bigger when we eventually get the match on paper.
Here's hoping.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, because then you have a tainted result of Moxley and Danielson. So MJF, this is all, and with the chip, it's all on MJF's time. So MJF doesn't necessarily have to choose Full Gear. Like, say if he interferes and costs Moxley, Tony Khan could be like, well, we didn't get a fair result. Danielson says that he wants to make his first defense against Moxley at Full Gear.
Ooh.
You could do the third match, the tiebreaker between Moxley and Danielson at Full Gear, and save MJF for Revolution. Or you can have a rating and make his title match on TV.
Yeah, I think you can make it 3 minutes, and then we can completely butcher the fucking main event buy rate. I mean, the pay-per-view buy rate. Because we're thinking then get shocked when we get shitty buy rates, and then have a whole press where we fucking, I'm not going to take this shit anymore. You did it. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. Santos, hey, what's going on? We got Santo in the chat with us. CM talking about CM Punk, saying Punk as Phil is in
I'm
his
not here for you
feelings.
continuously shitting on Philip. He's highly emotional. I acknowledge that. But you know, sometimes you gotta punch Matt Jackson. What do you want from me? Just making stupid faces in my face.
Nick Jackson says, me listening to Jimmy about Hangman, he's out of line. You, my boy Blue says, man, I forgot Lance Archer existed. See, that's why you should watch New Japan. Watch New Japan. He was great there. Oh,
W. Morrissey's definitely his replacement. So we can do the exact same shit, except now.
Exactly. Romeo says Ethan Page for next All Atlantic champion.
Sure.
I will say, not to spoil anything we're about to discuss, but I did like how this episode, one of the parts or one of the story threads through this episode was actually building a couple of people that actually won a shot at this damn title here.
Even though one of those was impossibly terribly done. Fucking amateur.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Holy shit.
We'll get to that. That was really bad. Yes. I got the picture and everything. We got Nick Jackson who says hashtag push the butcher.
Push the butcher.
You are correct, sir. Dan Sinai says watch Elevation from this week. Butcher and the Blade main evented. It was a wild match. I hate this match. Was on Elevation.
He told you what he does. He books for fucking ratings now. What an idiot. He's already changed his philosophy several times. He stinks. Get an adult in there, please. Jesus fucking Christ.
He's like, I'm working with children. CM Punk said it.
Yeah, the one sitting next to me. The fucking white on all his nose. He fucking, white in his nose and his hands in his pants. Stinks.
TVB says doesn't help that they're all lower card guys. I just don't know how this group goes past 2 months. Ethan Page and W. Morrissey is the two I think will survive as Stokely clients.
Agreed. Who's the other one? Lee Moriarty?
I think Lee will.
To be fair.
But the Guns are so like defined as lower card joke heels.
Yes.
That's the two that really I feel brings this whole group down. I think if they had any other tag, they had Private Party in their role, I think we would look at this whole stable totally differently. Because you'd be like, oh, you got W. Morrissey, big guy, you got Ethan Page, he can do everything. You got Lee Moriarty, he's talented in the ring, he just can't talk. You got Stokely for him. Great, this works. And then there's the Gun Club.
Yes, in which who get all the heat. But it's childish, like, whatever heat. It's fucking Al Snow heat. This is silly. We're chanting ass boys while Stokely's trying to cut a serious promo. Like, what the fuck? It's almost like the booger doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Shocking.
They're men.
Please tell me more.
They're not boys. They're men. From boys to men. That's what they should be. From ass boys to men. Next, we had our next matchup on the card. Jungle Boy, now just Jungle Boy, not Jungle Boy Jack Perry like he was at all.
He did all that fucking work to throw it right in the goddamn garbage. He's got to be mad at JR, right? There's a reason JR has been on Dynamite and we got rid of the Jungle Boy Jack Perry thing, right? It's punishment because fucking JR told you how stupid you were booking that main event and booking 27 matches on pay-per-view. And now we're mad at JR now. Fair enough. You take it out on Jungle Boy? Well, all the build we did.
I know. I mean, it just sounded so well. It really felt like Macho Man Randy Savage, like that. Like that's what it felt. Yes. Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Oh, we fucked it up because we stink. Oh,
so yeah, Jungle Boy, just Jungle Boy versus Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt and Santam Singh. Jungle Boy still affected by All Out, by being betrayed by Luchasaurus, looking at that side of the ramp where he
look this Matt Jackson being very dramatic.
Jay Lethal coming out with Santam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. I will say, I don't know about you, but it's either just how ridiculous it looks or just them doing it so often. But their little thing where they do the step up and thumbs up always pops me and makes me laugh. I pop every single time because they have really done it ad nauseum that I look forward to it now. I guess I'm the only one. After a strike exchange, Jungle Boy controlled the action with Lethal's offense attempts being countered early and often, hitting a nice little drop kick here. Lethal tried a figure four, but was sent outside. Jungle Boy wanted to dive, but Santam Singh stood in his way as Dutt ran distraction to let Lethal hit a backbreaker on the top rope, going after the injured body part of Jungle Boy from All Out. Lethal remained in control as commentary put over how much Jungle Boy could still be feeling the effects of the pay-per-view. Jungle Boy exploded out of the corner to turn Lethal inside out with a lariat, which led to a forearm battle. Jungle Boy sold his back while trying a suplex, but Jungle Boy avoided the lethal injection into another lariat and a brain buster in the corner. Lethal recovered and hit a Russian leg sweep off the second turnbuckle. Jungle Boy countered the lethal injection, but Lethal countered a kill switch attempt from Jungle Boy into the lethal combination. A tope suicida from Lethal led to a top rope elbow drop for a near fall. Jungle Boy blocked a pump kick and got the snare trap. Dutt was knocked from the apron by Jungle Boy as Lethal tried a figure four, but Jungle Boy countered that into another snare trap attempt, this time locking it in after a few forearms to the back, and then Lethal had no choice but to submit. I thought this was a pretty good matchup here. Jungle Boy looking strong, and Lethal just doesn't have bad matches, period.
He does not. He has matches nobody gives a fuck about, but it's never bad. And this was one of them. I gotta be honest. We should take. I love Jay Lethal, and I don't want to send him back to that place again. But we've got to change up this act. Like this thing ran its course. I'm never sure it ever got off the ground, but if it did, it's over. Let's move on, please. Pretty please. Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh. I get it. We want to break into the Indian market by having a gigantic Indian villain who doesn't wrestle. Brilliant. I see no problems with this at all. But we shouldn't have Jay Lethal attached to him. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, Lethal. He just doesn't need. The only reason he's on TV is because he's in Lethal's corner, and that means that we need Lethal on our TV every single week, which we don't when we have this big of a roster. One Mike Nation echoing that, saying, "I love Jay Lethal, but I do not need to see him on TV every fucking week."
Especially when he loses every big match he's in. We know where his spot is. It's directly
it's either
hard.
It's either 50-50 booking, or if he's versing a star too big, he's just gonna
yes.
Like they have him beat Orange Cassidy, then he versus Wardlow, he loses. He'll verse Dax Harwood, he'll beat him, and then he versus Jungle Boy, he loses. Like he's not getting back to. He's not pulling off 3 straight wins. He might get 2 straight, but not 3 straight on TV.
It's over. Jay Lethal had a great run, and he's still valuable in this company. Yes, very much so. But I don't need to see him in a TV match against Jungle Boy. No last name.
And because you've given him so much TV time over the last few months, he's established whenever you want to bring him back. Yes. Whenever you have a spot to fill, you need to put over babyface, the hot baby face of the month. Jay Lethal's right there. Have a good 10-15 minute match.
Can somebody explain this Satnam Singh thing to me? Am I missing something? I feel like it's just because he's Indian, right? I'm not knocking him. He's an opposing presence. Great Khali works in a spot, but you don't even know the spot. He's just standing next to these 2 goofballs. What's the point? I don't care how much there's no black people on this fucking television show. Bringing out a giant Negro, have him stand.
Hey, they got Negroes now.
They do.
They just they got Negroes.
Let's say they did.
They had 12 on All Out. I didn't mention that to you because you wasn't on the full show, but they had 12.
Let's say they didn't, and then we opened up the Harlem market. I don't care how big this Negro is. We're standing there. I'm not interested. You're not gonna give me to watch a show because there's a giant Negro and they're standing at the fuck. No.
We got Negro Bucko says, "Man, we just used Jack Perry for All Out. That's bullshit. Now I know why JR ain't been on Dynamite the last 2 weeks. What are we doing?"
He's probably yelling at fucking Tony about this, and Tony got his feelings hurt. Which I would imagine he would stand up to JR because fucking JR is an old man with cancer. Yeah, we beat him up. I'll stand up for myself. CM Punk, I won't, but JR, sure.
God damn.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
What was that for? What did I do?
You basically alluded to Tony Khan being tough and wanting to beat up JR because he has cancer.
No, he just knows JR's not gonna beat him up. So you feel bold with niggas like that. Fuck you talk about, JR. Shut the fuck up. And then fucking, you know.
That's how Tony Khan gonna say it.
That's how he sounds. If you heard those press conferences, they did some with the voices where they all sound a lot deeper than they are. Shut up.
Yo, I will say I wasn't like my friend. It was actually Drunk Cat JJ. He had the press conference on after we were leaving the building, and from not looking at it and just hearing it, CM Punk sounded like a battle rapper. Like he did his voice sounded deeper, and he was, saying all this shit about Colt Cabana. So I was like, yo, what battle rapper are you listening to? He's like, no, I'm watching the AEW post show. I was like, who is that? He's like, that's CM Punk going off. I was like,
so weird. Their microphones were fucked up. All the feed was fucked up. I'm hurt. I'm tired. I work for kids. I'm fucking. It's like, just, what? Sir, stop chewing and speak.
Why do you sound exactly like?
I'm hurt, I'm tired, and I work for fucking children. He sounds like what's my man from the those new Star Wars movies? Fucking he sounds like Kylo Ren. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Fuck CM Punk. Join the dark side.
That's awesome. Romeo says, "Great Khali did this 5,000 times better." We got CM who says Jimmy's telling the truth. We also got ALW who says CHK gets bullied by CM Punk, and then CHK goes and bullies JR.
That's how bullying works. They
circle
get bullied at
of
home,
life.
So they go fucking push the kid around the playground. That's what they do.
Circle of life. It's the circle of life. We cut to a training video of Hook with rapper Action Bronson. We see them working out in a ring, and they say next week, Bronson says that Daddy Magic and Angelo will get their asses kicked. And they've confirmed that this match will be on AEW Rampage Grand Slam next Friday. You looking forward to it? Good reason to watch Rampage, right?
Absolutely. Action Bronson. That's what I want to see.
I know you want to see it. Yeah. Don't lie to the people.
Hard pass.
Don't act better. Don't act better than this. Come on.
Action Bronson's a great rapper. I have no interest in watching him attempt to wade his way through a wrestling match, which I assume is going to be a squash over fucking Dummy and Dummy.
I mean, 2.0 are the perfect dummies, though.
They are.
They're perfect. They're perfect dummies.
Yeah, agreed. I don't want to watch it. I won't watch it. Nobody can make me.
So you're not going to Grand Slam? This is official?
No.
You don't want to watch
I had about that?
Danielson too?
No.
Wow.
Don't want to see that. Wow. Don't want to see what else on that card. Not interested. It's not a very unimpressive card. They definitely shat the bed. I gotta be honest. Now that I think about it, even the Lust Off Dragon is worn off. He's still a main eventer, but remember how we felt last year? This was like the biggest deal ever. Dragon and Omega. Then all you said it was Omega and Hangman was the biggest match ever, even though fucking this match took place a month before that. To stop it. But yeah, it was great. It was great. But not now. Not interested. No Punk, no Omega, no Nick Jackson. Not interested.
Why can't it just be the Young Bucks? Come on, man.
I can do without saying Matt. Hard pass.
Jesus Christ. You want to boo him out the building. This is what dreams are made of.
Can't deal with these faces. I'll end up punching the person next to me. Watching Matt Jackson's stupid ass faces. Ugh, what are you doing?
You see Matt Jackson and you just want to punch someone next to you?
I totally forgive CM Punk.
So I don't know. I know you were trying to express, an issue with Matt Jackson, but I think you were telling a little bit too much about yourself. You did this on a Ozark review, but I'm just letting you know you might be telling.
No, I'm not. Action Bronson's a fellow New Yorker. I'm aware. I love that. Listen, in New York, we don't do that stuff here. We actually have. You know what? I'm not gonna be. Fuck it. I'll say it. In New York, if we were to fucking cheer for everybody famous that came from New York, or every time somebody new, we would be cheering all day. We don't have the energy to get hyped. You go, oh, that guy's from Nebraska. Like I'm from Nebraska. We don't give a fuck. Sorry, just don't. You do not. Not interested. We so much don't care that we have to do it in little groups. Like he's from the Bronx. He's from Harlem. Otherwise, New York. Who cares? So what? It's a big ass important place.
True Hill Esports says, who would Punk have faced at Grand Slam if he didn't get hurt or punched an EVP?
I would imagine MJF. Which is why I kind of want to give them a pass for this awful booking. I'm going to assume Punk and Omega factored heavily into it. But yeah.
I would think they would do probably since Death Triangle is in this position of being the AEW Trios champions. I think they would have done Elite versus Death Triangle at Grand Slam for the Trios titles. And with Punk, I don't think it would have been MJF here. Maybe they would have done CM Punk and Moxley 3.
I thought Moxley would be on vacation for 6 weeks.
Well, that's true. So it wouldn't have been Moxley. So maybe Danielson or Jericho.
What MJF? Why are you trying to run from this? Why?
Because you should save that for pay-per-view.
I need you guys to explain this to me. Because I've been reading Twitter, unfortunately, and I've been hearing all these news like Punk ruined the MJF feud and this, that, and third. Didn't we all get our fill of that feud? Didn't we bust our nuts several times over? Haven't they said everything that they could possibly fucking say and have 2 great matches? What do I need this match on pay-per-view for? Build up another 3 months? Just give me the match and put the belt on MJF. And let's move on.
You
ruined
no
it.
Patience.
You did it.
You have no patience. You ruined it. No, I'm not blaming Punk anymore. I'm blaming you. You're impatient ass.
You
ruined it.
We didn't have it. We had 2 matches. It was great. It was the feud of the year. Let's move on.
Alex Marvez is backstage and says he couldn't wait for Grand Slam. He introduces the Big Apple's premier pizza maker and wrestler Luigi Primo. He's gotten notoriety on social media, went viral because he was spinning dough as he was wrestling. And he's here to say absolutely nothing as Ethan Page quickly boots him in the face. Ethan Page starts to talk, saying that he's not dealing with the nonsense anymore since he's the only person that takes his job seriously here, which of course leads to the jester of AEW, Danhausen, to interrupt. And Page issues a challenge to Danhausen for Rampage, which Danhausen accepts, even though it didn't seem like he understood that Page was challenging him, because when Page walks off, he says, yes, me and Ethan Page gonna take out the jester. Danhausen owns. Danhausen is the best. Danhausen versus Ethan Page, I'm here for.
Why? We know what's gonna happen. Like I gotta be honest, I enjoy the way they use Danhausen, but you know what this reminds me of? Because it takes more from me than it does for most. I think we live in a bubble because there was a commercial for Rampage or something like a few weeks back. My sister listened because I was at my mom's house. My sister listening. She goes, "I forgot how corny wrestling is." That was my exact thought. I was watching this. I went, right. This is fucking ridiculous. This is silly nonsense. I'm not here for any of this. When Ethan Page is the most serious motherfucker on screen, we have an issue. And probably like, can we get rid of Marvez?
Why do you want to get rid of Marvez? This man needs a job.
He adds nothing. Literally. He's not good at his job.
There.
What?
I said I won't say you're wrong there. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's not good at his job.
Too much.
He's not good to look at. No offense, sir.
Well, damn! Why we got? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm not being
ugly shaming him.
No, no. I mean, for a mostly male audience, he's not particularly good to look at. That's what I'm saying. And he doesn't add anything to the presentation. Like, who's the tiny girl that works there?
Lexi Nair.
Sure, let's go with that. She's like constantly
talking about the blonde one that does interviews.
Yeah,
Lexi Nair.
Sure. She's constantly like staring up, making these guys seem larger than life. Like Marvez is like standing over people. Like, this is weird. Like, get rid of all this. This is not a proper presentation of a fucking sports show. DDP's ex-stepdaughter. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. Check you out. Mom done helped everybody.
See, dropping the info. ALW agreeing with you, saying fuck Alex Marvez.
Yes, come on. He's interesting. He's goofy.
Hey, I'm not saying he's interested. I'm not saying he adds anything. I'm just saying I don't wish people to not have a job.
No, listen. If it's up to me, I would pay him for doing nothing. I don't want him to lose his income, just his job. You can keep the money.
What?
Beat it.
What?
Beat it.
I've never heard anything.
What does
like
he get paid?
that.
30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand a year? You can keep that. Just go away. You're not good at this.
He said you can keep.
That's all.
He said you can keep the money. Just stop coming.
Stay at home. It's a pandemic out here. Go home.
Oh my goodness, that might be one of your funniest lines.
It's not my money, so I spend it freely.
he said you can keep the year's salary. Just stop coming.
Yes, please.
We will pay you not to come to work.
What happened to Dasha? She was great looking.
Dasha was great. Dasha was great. I don't know why they don't use Dasha in that role anymore.
Just Alex Marvez, as he speaks like he's in a Chappelle Show skit. I just can't.
What we're doing tonight is
like, ugh. Wrestling is.
Oh my god, right. You popped me so much with that. We get a Darby Allin video showing him at the Nitro Circus in Coney Island, New York, backflipping on a tricycle. He wipes out on the first attempt, and then he makes it on the second try that we see here, saying that that was one of the craziest things he's done. And then we hear from Matt Hardy, who puts over Darby as one of his greatest rivals, and talks about his matchup with from earlier this year with Jeff Hardy. And then Matt challenges Darby to a match on Rampage to scratch his way back to the top. Any thoughts?
One of his greatest rivals is one of the funniest things maybe ever, because it's probably true, and that's not exactly a fucking long line of brilliant wrestlers. Like, just listen, Matt. Who's great? Matt Hardy's greatest rival and teammate. Aren't they both Jeff Hardy?
No, his greatest rival would be Edge to me.
I totally forgot that feud happened, mainly because he got crushed and we moved on with life. He was the hero of the story, and he just got washed. Beat it.
He did. He did. That is not a lie, ladies and gentlemen. If you were not a wrestling fan in 2005, that actually happened. His first match back after being cheated, losing his job at SummerSlam, went about 5 minutes, and Edge dominated him and bloodied him to a referee stoppage.
It was amazing. I gotta be honest. I loved every bit of it. Mainly because I won't get into like psychology and shit, but like Matt Hardy was like, I hope you die in a car crash. He was like whining and just like, this is not babyface badassery. The Edge goes, I hope you're really safe because I'm gonna beat the shit out of you at SummerSlam. I'm like, that's how you're supposed to do it. Oh well, you're getting buried. Let's move on with life. Matt Hardy
things like take this burial, move on. I got your girl now,
right?
Ladies.
Your impossibly hot girlfriend that you weren't hot enough for anyway. Let's be honest.
He was punching.
He was definitely punching up. Like, I mean, congratulations for getting it. I'm just saying. You knew a loss was coming.
Eventually, you were going to take this L. It was waiting for you here.
Right. Matt Hardy stinks. Sorry. And I get we don't want to pay Matt Hardy to stay at home because that feels like a lot more money. But I guess you can use him here. As long as Darby goes over, I don't care. It feels like we're in the midst of a Matt Hardy heel turn. The way he said, you're so tough and so extreme. I said, that feels phony. I hope he's about to turn heel. And it's definitely like we got a timeline on when Jeff Hardy's going to come back. Like, I don't know what it happened, but somebody told Tony Khan either he's running around the corner or it ain't happening.
Yeah, because I did get that as well with the video package and them mentioning Jeff because it's the first time they really mentioned him since he went to rehab.
Yeah. I hope Jeff's all right.
I hope so too. I hope he's not rushing back to make this cheddar.
Yes. I'm sorry. Rushing back, I immediately thought of alcohol and I wanted to make a joke. So
What? You immediately thought about what?
Russian. I thought about alcohol, and I was going to make a joke, but I kept it to myself because I'm responsible.
Why not? People come for the disclaimer.
I'm a responsible adult.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop denying the people what they want. Next we got Powerhouse Hobbs. He comes out for a singles matchup with his great entrance. I love it every single time. I see it. Powerhouse. And he totally washes this guy. I called his name was Matt Martino. I called him Jeremy Jobber. This went about 30 seconds, and Hobbs hits a corner splash and then the spine buster for the win. After the matchup, apparently Hobbs got punched in the mouth or something because he was bleeding from the mouth, but he took the mic and he said it took him just over 4 minutes to defeat Ricky Starks at All Out, and it's time for a new chapter of the Book of Hobbs. Ricky Starks emerges from the crowd. Huge pop for Ricky. Even before he came out, the fans were chanting, "We want Ricky."
Right.
He emerges from the crowd. He hits the ring. He hits a bunch of punches on Powerhouse Hobbs and then spikes him in the head with the microphone. Hobbs retreats and he sells it like that busted his lip, but his lip was already busted during his promo. But great improvisation though. And it seems like this feud between Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs is not over. Any thoughts?
This is one of the most weirdly booked feuds maybe ever. Like, I never know what the fuck is going on. I get that they don't like each other. That part is obvious. We kind of settled it at the pay-per-view in dominant fashion, and then Ricky Starks, the babyface, shows up and just starts punching him again. What are we doing? Shouldn't he talk? Shouldn't he say he disappointed us, or he disappointed himself, or he's not done with Hobbs, or any of this? He just shows up and starts punching him? Why is he walking through the crowd? I mean, it looks cool. I love Ricky Starks. But, like, what are we doing? I get it. I get they don't have the complexion, we'll say, for intricate booking. But can we give it a shot, please? I don't ask so much. Please.
They tend not to do that at all. CM saying, I think this is for Matt Hardy, saying his greatest rival is procreation, fidelity, and abuse.
Oh my God! Listen,
Yeesh.
he does keep her pregnant. I'm not mad at that. Do what you gotta do, sir. But say you can relate.
Hey, mine was one shot, one kill. All I need is one shot.
Yeah. I'm glad she's continuing though. I mean, Ricky is possibly over, no matter how much Tony Khan apparently does not want him to be.
Ricky is one of their rising breakout stars of the year. So it's
is he? Didn't he just
better late than never. Huh?
Did he just get squashed in 4 minutes?
It doesn't matter. You can still be impossibly over, just like CM Punk.
This is true. I do want to mention that Hobbs was one of the people who defended Dummy when the Swole stuff came out, and when what was the other one? Something else came out, and now Hobbs is the one getting pushed. I'm just saying, not a bad call, sir. Good job. Good on you.
That's one wise Negro. Next we got Death Triangle. Quick little promo from earlier today, talking about their trios title win, and then talking about Phoenix and Penta going to try to be double champions just like Pac here tonight, as we have an AEW World Tag Team title match as Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus the Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo with Alex Abrahantes. I was very much looking forward to this matchup as soon as I saw the graphic for this. I didn't even see it before watching Dynamite. As soon as I'm watching the show, the graphic goes at the bottom. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. We get a lightning fast start from Strickland and Phoenix. Phoenix punting the hands out from Strickland during a handstand. Assisted splash by the Lucha Bros. Got a 2 count for Phoenix, who soon found himself in the corner with Strickland, who connected with a Hurricane Rana off the second rope. Phoenix foolishly tried a chop exchange with Keith Lee, who just beats the crap out of him very easily. Lucha Brothers regained control with a dive to the outside, but Lee eventually steamrolled Phoenix to his corner as Strickland tagged in, immediately mocked Penta. Phoenix spun out of a gory special into a comeback spin kick to make the hot tag to Penta. Phoenix was caught by Lee on a dive and lawn darted onto his partner as Penta was pinning Swerve with the maiden Penta. Penta tried Fear Factor, but Strickland slapped Penta and tagged in Keith Lee. Phoenix tried a crossbody again on Lee, but was caught and ragdolled down. The best sequence of this entire matchup was basically Swerve in Our Glory. They went for their Call for Glory finisher, but the Lucha Bros broke it up. Phoenix hits a double jump Spanish fly on Swerve Strickland, and then Penta uses Phoenix's back to hit an amazing step-up destroyer on Keith Lee for a close two. Strickland shoves Phoenix off the top rope when they try for the double stomp Fear Factor, and then Keith Lee hits the Big Bang Catastrophe on Penta for the win here. I thought that this was a great matchup. These two teams, they went at it. They mixed it up very well. Phoenix and Swerve, I want to see that singles match so badly, and I thought Keith Lee, this was another matchup that really highlighted him in a major way, kind of being the big man, kind of being the anchor for all these guys flying around doing their lucha libre. Post-match, though, we got the Acclaim interrupting the celebration of Swerve in Our Glory. Max Caster told Strickland to stop nut-hugging every famous person he knows. Caster told him to roll Keith Lee to Grand Slam, and Anthony Barron says that they are going to beat their Drake and Josh looking asses next week, and the uncrowned champions will win the tag team titles. What did you think about the Swerve in Our Glory Lucha Bros matchup, Jimmy, as well as the post match here with the Acclaim?
Drake and Josh, a Nickelodeon thing?
Yes, they were the white Keenan and Kel. That's what I call them.
Gotcha. How long ago was that?
They went off air maybe a decade ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. I want to say a decade ago, maybe shorter than that. Maybe like 2014, 2015.
Either way, fucking ill. Can we never do that again? Let's not reference that ever again. What are you, fucking 12? You shut up.
Hey, they referenced Keenan and Kel.
That's different. They were on the Emmys. Classic. They were on the Emmys like fucking a week ago.
That's true. That is true.
And I watched them, so that doesn't count.
He's like, the criteria is, ladies and gentlemen,
I get it.
I watch it, that's a great reference. If I don't watch it, I don't like that reference.
There you go. Match was really good. It was fun. It would have been more fun if we didn't have the Acclaim match announced for next week already, because then maybe I could buy into losing. However, we do know that, so I didn't buy any of this. The Canadian short spot, well, it didn't make me buy into it. It was dope looking, so I was here for it. I can do without Max Caster talking ever.
Just
rap. You can rap. Feel free to spew your corny raps and to make fun of Swerve whenever you get the chance. But otherwise, I'm just not all that interested. I'm looking forward to the match, though. I will say that much. I don't expect a repeat performance, meaning because I didn't expect the first one. But I am curious.
I mean, you're going in with the best attitude. Don't expect much, and you get a lot.
Yeah, essentially. Could be fun.
So, we got a couple of comments here. Let's see what we got.
What did Drake Bell do? What the fuck's now with you people? You guys have lost your minds. What happened?
CM says the Canadian Destroyer. Yes, that was one of the best spots I saw all week. This was just fun as hell to watch. Frantic World says that tag match was so good. This was the type of matchup that I feel like Swerve in Our Glory needed, especially if they are losing the titles next week. They needed another kind of like memorable title match, so their title reign kind of meant something. And they're beating relatively big stars in AEW when you think about it, with the Lucha Bros and everything they've accomplished and being current champions. So I think this was a much needed win, but I agree with you. I would have wished like maybe this week on Rampage or last week on Rampage, you would have gave the Acclaim a match there for them to win. And then they came out after this match and say, we just talked to Tony Khan. We got our match at Grand Slam next week in New York.
Agreed. How about we eliminate all fucking post-show scrums, because we end up announcing matches that don't need to be announced? You dummy. Just a thought.
Oh, so I was terribly wrong. Frantic World says the final episode of Drake and Josh was September 16, 2007. I'm thinking of that. I think they did like some type of reunion or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I'm not gonna knock it. I guess it's outside of my frame of reference. I did Google MCM, but it's too late. Apparently he groomed kids or something. That stuff is awful. I should probably stop there, right? While that stuff.
No. You already let us down the trail. You got to continue.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what that's called, but like leading up to a crime is not leading up to a crime isn't as bad as a crime. Like you pulling a gun and pointing it at somebody is not as bad as shooting somebody. It isn't. That's all I'm saying. It's bad.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
It's bad, but the way you guys were talking, I thought he was fucking Harvey Weinstein. I was like, what the fuck? This little kid, what the fuck this kid do? He was like, oh, he was about to do something awful.
So basically, what you're trying to say is all those people Chris Hansen caught before they did something, they really do nothing wrong.
Don't do that, Skip Bayless. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
That's basically what you're saying.
No, because that is preventing somebody from doing something. But if let's say all those creeps showed up,
something obviously prevented this motherfucker. What are we talking about?
I didn't even consider that. You know what? You're right. You know what? You're right. I'm thinking he was like, you know what? I can't do this. And he went back to his seat. You know what? You're right. Fair enough.
You think he just had a moment of clarity?
He's like, oh, Lord.
He up here telling these little kids.
Oh, no.
This highlights your, and he's like, oh, no. What am I doing?
Like, oh, no. It is 15. I'm going to leave. Like, oh, that doesn't have hair. I'm going to go.
Oh my god!
You know what? Oh. I apologize. That one's on me. That one's on me. I'll take that.
Oh my god! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear it before,
the words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
True Heel Esports, say very, very Velveteen Dream of it. Yes, indeed.
Hey, I remember when this was y'all guy, by the way. Velveteen Dream was y'all guy. What happened? You all loved him.
We got your friend Romeo telling you, "Have a seat, Jimmy."
Fair enough. Hey, we all have bad takes. That was a bad one.
He said, "I've read the transcript." And Dan also adding Drake pled guilty.
Okay, listen, I wasn't in the courtroom. Jesus, did a quick Google search in fucking 12 seconds. Give me a break.
Oh man. Whew. Okay,
fair enough. Drake Bell, who I haven't heard of until this point, guilty. Fair enough.
So we established.
Yes, guilty. Should be in jail.
Whew, man, that was great.
Is a creep. No matter why he stopped.
Alex Marvez, he tries to stop Death Triangle backstage, but Penta and Phoenix walk off after their loss. Pac reminded Marvez who they are, as he's the current All-Atlantic champion. He's the first and only double champion in AEW history. And then out of nowhere, Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch. Hits in quotes. Hits the orange punch on Pac as Orange Cassidy picked up the mic and said to Pac that he wouldn't be double champion for long. Any thoughts?
That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. That was horrific. Whose fucking well, we know whose idea this was, but I'm shocked how bad that is. It's shocking that made it to TV. I assume it was live. No way you shoot that once and go, you know what? That's good. That was fucking horrific. You said orange punch. I didn't get that from watching it the first time. I got it when they said it afterwards. But how we know it's orange punch? Just like he slowly moved his hand in the frame and lightly tapped what's called on the jaw. Oh, that stunk. What the fuck was? And then Pac was like out cold. I was like, am I supposed to believe a punch just to put him down? It was like it was an orange punch. How would we know that? Because you say so? Are you fucking serious? Why wouldn't you shoot that wide? Why wouldn't you have him run the screen? Because you got to get the shock of it. Shut up. It stinks.
You got to see it. It got to come out of nowhere.
Yes. Nothing better in wrestling than closing up on a punch not hitting somebody in the face. That's exactly how we should shoot punches into the face. Fucking. Where are all these producers at? Did they all get fired? Was Ace Steel the guy making sure things didn't look ridiculous? When I bite somebody, it's real. I don't get the idea of this. Somebody explain it to me.
This was just very badly done. That's all I can. I don't have an excuse for this. This was just very poorly done.
He just.
I was like, why is this person wiping his face?
And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is Pac dead?
That was strange. Nick Jackson says, bro, that orange punch on Pac was weak as fuck. We got GJ Eric, who says best part of last night's Dynamite was the watch along and just JJ and the one chip challenge hashtag Ass of Fire. Check that out on Elite Heat with his one chip challenge live on air.
Ass of Fire, get me to tune in.
CM says, why are you asking a cokehead for cents? Good point.
That's fair. Though we don't know if he does cocaine. We just assume so because he performs like a cokehead.
We are just equating, ladies and gentlemen. Tai Fu asking a question. You guys do UFC? We do on our second channel, THH Sports, True Heel Heat Sports. So you just put the same title for this YouTube channel, True Heel Heat, but instead of wrestling, put sports, and we do UFC watch-alongs over there. We do podcasts talking about mixed martial arts. Check out True Heel Heat Sports, Typhoon. Thank you for that.
How the Lakers doing? They signed Kyrie yet?
The season hasn't even fucking started. Like, what are you doing, sir? Who's your team now, huh?
I'm a free agent. I've been a free agent for 3 years now.
Now this.
How long's LeBron been there?
Now this. You can't be a free agent that long, sir.
It's over.
That means your career is over. You can't even talk about basketball anymore. That's how long you've not been a fan.
That's how that works. I agree. Let me know when you send Kyrie. Send me a text. I'll be open.
I know it's gonna come back. You're gonna pick a team. You're gonna pick a team, or are you just gonna talk shit about my team? Huh?
As soon as Kyrie comes to the Lakers, I'll be a Lakers fan. Sure. We'll both be waiting a long ass time.
I'm not waiting for you. Fuck you. I'm not waiting for you, sir. That's what's not happening here.
Caffeine. Listen, come on now. Caffeine don't do that to people. I don't know what he's on. I know it ain't caffeine. I ain't gonna take this fucking shit. What are we even talking
about here?
Dummy. I'm not gonna take this fucking shit. Fucking Jurassic Park face, get out of here.
That's fucking bullshit.
Now we need all new clips from this last media scrum. We need
new clips from please do that thing.
Please give us some clips from this last media scrum.
It's not caffeine.
Next, we get Tony Storm and Athena. They cut a promo on Britt Baker and Serena Deeb as Athena says that she's been brushing, flossing, and eating an apple a day to keep the doctor away. She says tonight they are going to win it for Hikaru Shida because we also see footage of Britt Baker and Rebel attacking and taking out Shida on AEW Dark. This is like multiple weeks in a row that they've mentioned stuff from AEW Dark. It's like it's actually a show that's canon. It is kind of shocking. And that segued into the tag team matchup. Started at about 9:15 p.m.
You knew they looked so long. They brought the women out at 9:15. I went, we ain't got time for you to go to 9:30. Get out.
Dr. Britt Baker, TMD, and Serena Deeb teaming up here with Rebel in their corner to verse the interim AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm and Athena. Excalibur informed us that Jamie Hayter hasn't spoke to Britt since All Out before this matchup. Athena came in. She hit a couple of really cool moves, including a cool spinning face buster on Serena Deeb. Baker tripped her, and then Deeb attacked the leg, and that became the focus of the heels throughout this matchup. Kind of taking advantage of Athena with the injured wheel. We then got Britt Baker with a sling bait on Toni Storm after she made the hot tag in. Match broke down with Baker slamming Athena into the ring steps while Storm countered Detox with Rebel taking the ref away and distracting him. Deeb sent Storm into Baker on the apron, who was holding a chair, as Serena Deeb pins the AEW Interim Women's World Champion Toni Storm here. Post-match, Baker and Deeb beat down Athena and Storm until Jamie Hayter comes down to the ring. She approaches Britt Baker, grabs the steel chair from her. She looks like she's about to nail her with it, even though Baker keeps apologizing, but instead she nails Toni Storm with the steel chair and then leaves, still not accepting the apology from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. What did you think about this tag team match here, Jimmy, as well as the post match with Jamie Hayter?
Jamie Hayter's fine as shit. Wait. I have to come up with something not sexual first, and then I'll get back to that. Hold on.
Try your best.
Match was fine. I like Deeb getting the win. I would prefer if we got Deeb versus Toni Storm at some point. It felt to me like kind of the obvious way to go. Instead, we did not do that. That aside, as much as I enjoy, this was my favorite storytelling, we'll say, of the night. Now, granted, it didn't have a lot to go for. There was Pac and Orange Cassidy. There was Ethan Page and Danhausen. So this being the best out of all those, I get it. Not much, but fuck it. It worked for me. We moved the story forward. We elevated Deeb in a way. We got more Jamie Hayter and Britt. So I'll take it. I don't really get it. Outside of the fact that Jamie Hayter is angry, he wants to take out his aggression on somebody. It doesn't want to hurt Britt just yet. Fair enough, I guess. But you know what? Whatever. That aside, now we're done with all that. You see Jamie Hayter? You see her?
She's over as hell. She got a nice little pop.
As she should. She's amazing. You should definitely see him. We should be building the Jamie versus Jade. That should be the move. Jade should.
I agree with you.
Goofy ass belts, and then fucking Jamie should beat Britt, and then we should do that.
Yes, and speaking of what you were alluding to, they announced later on, or just a few minutes after this, that next week, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York, Toni Storm will defend the AEW Interim Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb, Athena, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. You're not happy about this.
This is the dumbest. Why? Can you explain to me? I don't want to look at the rankings. I'm going to assume they're all in the top 5.
They are.
So Athena, she loses against Jade in 12 seconds. And then she loses the SAG match. And she's competing for the bigger belt.
Elevation.
Gotcha.
Ty Mello set the precedent with this. Remember, she lost to Britt Baker at Full Gear for the AEW Women's World Championship, and then the next pay-per-view Revolution, she was vying for the TBS title.
At least that's separated by months. This is 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Jesus fucking Christ! Fair enough. We need to get rid of one of these belts. I'm sorry. If you don't care about the division, you don't care about women in general. Fair enough. That's your call. So why, first of all, why have a division at all if you don't give a fuck outside of you don't want to hear any negative press? And number 2, why have 2 belts? Let's do a triple threat. Once Once Thunder Rosa comes back, the triple threat: Jade, Toni Storm, and Thunder Rosa for all the belts, and move on with life.
I wouldn't mind that, honestly. If you only have the patience for one title feud or one match, an episode, then yeah, it's probably better off just having one championship.
Jade wins, and we can all move on with life.
pretty much. That's kind of the result that we're looking at here. We did get some hype for AEW Rampage on this show, as they had a quick little vignette video package of Samoa Joe and Josh Woods. Josh Woods challenging him last week on Rampage after saving Smart Mark Sterling from the powerbomb of Wardlow. And I just had to take the screenshot because Smart Mark, he seems either perturbed, about to lay down a mean fart, or just really moved.
What a fucking... Why would we even pretend with ROH? That shit is horrific. This is the number one... What? They had an ROH match on Dark.
TV title. Title.
Yeah, the TV title. They had an ROH World title match on Dark. Like, this stinks. All of this stinks. What the fuck?
Also on Rampage on Friday, you got Ethan Page versus Danhausen, Penelope Ford versus Willow Nightingale, Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin, and then AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. The AEW World Championship will be decided. Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaim for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Tony Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Athena versus Serena Deeb for the interim AEW Women's Championship, and Pac will versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. So stack card for next week, not in Jimmy's eyes, but I guess everyone else, or a majority of the people. And that leads to the main event. The main event, Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho in the AEW Tournament of Champions semifinals. Chris Jericho was no Lionheart, no Painmaker tonight, just your standard Chris Jericho, and he's versus the American Dragon. You had Lord Steven Regal on commentary. Loved Excalibur bringing up the point that Bryan Danielson has never beaten Chris Jericho in his career. That added to the story of this matchup. Danielson
story for the first match, but all right.
Yeah, it should have been. Danielson controlled a majority of the opening minutes of this matchup, mainly working over the shoulder of Jericho to soften him up for his submissions down the stretch. Jericho ate kicks, but ducked a home run shot with a released German suplex. Nicely done by Jericho there. We got a springboard drop kick followed by a springboard crossbody by Jericho in control on the outside. We get a slap battle that turns into a chop exchange with both men lighting each other the fuck up at this point. This is why I said the chop battle between Sammy and Moxley was put to shame in this match, because these guys were lighting each other up. Jericho was trying to protect himself on his chops, but he was eating it in this one. We get a big charging double cross body, and that leads to the first commercial break after the double down. Jericho slammed Danielson's head repeatedly into the mat, but Danielson starts doing push-ups to show that they didn't have any effect. Jericho dropped Danielson with a lion salt for 2, but Danielson moved out of the corner and Jericho ran shoulder first into the post. Jericho crotched Danielson in the corner and hits an impressive Hurricane Rana to follow. Jericho missed a Judas effect as Danielson hit a German suplex into the cattle mutilation. Danielson poured down anvil and hammer elbows, but Jericho landed a temple shot, which led to hammer and anvil elbows of his own. But Danielson no-sells it and just stares at the AEW World Championship as he gets up and the fans rally behind him. We get more chops echoed from both men until Jericho hit a code breaker, but Danielson responds with the Psycho knee. We get chops on the apron, led to Jericho suplexing Danielson to the floor, and this basically hurts Danielson's left ankle. He's holding on to it. He takes off the boot, and Jericho starts attacking it. He starts ramming it into the ring post and puts on the Bret Hart figure 4 around the ring post. In the ring, Jericho looks like he's going to get the win with the walls of Jericho, going after the injured body part. He even goes and attacks the injured limb by doing a half crab, but Danielson survives and is able to hold on. Jericho transitioned into a heel hook and then a spinning toe hold, which Danielson kicked his way out of and gets a roll up for 2. Jericho locked on a figure 4 until both men started slugging it out, with Danielson escaping into a label lock. He gets the label lock. He wrenches back on Jericho's nose to get a better grip, and then finally he makes Jericho tap tap out. We see in the back Daniel Garcia giving a nod of approval for this one. And then Jon Moxley, after the match, walks out. We get this great image here with the fan having a CM Punk owns the Bucks sign as Moxley comes out to both congratulate his Blackpool Combat Club teammate as well as show some respect before the two men battle it out for the AEW World Championship next week at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Fantastic main event. I thought that this was a lot better, had a lot better pacing than their all-out matchup. This just felt like it had a better pacing. It felt more physical. Of course, they also didn't have to deal with coming out of hour 3 of a 5-hour pay-per-view, but that also helps. But also these guys just seemed motivated because I thought Moxley and Sammy had a very fun, very good main opening matchup, and it felt like Jericho and Danielson wanted to outdo them. So they had a fantastic match here. What did you think?
I think outdoing that wasn't difficult. This match was great. Easily the match of the night. I'm not entirely sure how anybody could say otherwise. I thought this was much better strong. I thought it was significantly better than the all-out match. I like the story. I like the way it went. I like the foot spot. I wish we could have heard from them before the match. That would have been nice. Or hear from Daniel Garcia before the match. Also would have been nice. But you know what?
If you're not going to interview both guys, just interview Garcia. That would have been the nice medium. That's a good call.
What do you know? What do we know? He stinks so much. I'm so happy that I see so many more people have turned on him. I'm glad you guys are late to the fucking party. But you know what? Yeah, you'd be correct. Absolutely. We don't do that here. You're a vagina, you're bad. I wonder what happened in his life that made him think that way. Why are you so far behind the fucking how are you behind Vince McMahon and fucking women's booking? How do you do that? I don't understand. Triple H is in charge now, but he wasn't before.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Oh, I gave myself a headache. That will never not be funny. That will never not be funny. That is funny.
I just want to play it for random reasons.
What a fucking cokehead. Allegedly. I'm just saying. You know what? I don't know. Something happened because it makes no sense for him to be this much against women when Vince's show. That doesn't sound right coming out of my fucking face. When Vince has showed you that this can work on a national televised program. Shocking. This is impossible. Nobody should be behind Vince when it comes to fucking women's suffrage. Ever. You have Vince, you'd have done something wrong. You
ever in life. What are we doing? What are we doing, Tony Khan? Why are we doing this?
Play it again. Play it one more time. I gotta see the face again.
Tony Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Ow! Ow! What the fuck is going on? What are you looking for? Who just stood up? What the fuck is that?
It's like he's looking for whoever said it. Like every time Jimmy sees that, he just
fucking mark.
I can't tell if he thought he was saying something really badass. He was like looking around for like approval. He was looking for another question, looking to see if he embarrassed himself. You ever been on mushrooms before?
Yeah,
I know it's a random question, but it felt like
that is a random question.
I know it's a random question, but sometimes you think, am I saying what I'm thinking? Like, am I saying what I'm thinking right now? Do you want to see if anybody else? I am just thinking this. I'm not saying this out loud. That's the face he was making. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That worked.
ABB says the way he stared after he said that shit. Play it again.
Tyrannosaurus Rex face. What was that?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
We got Michael, who says MJF and Moxley is going to be an excellent feud that I'm looking forward to in months to come. Definitely the promos is going to be on point between those two. I would have even liked for the Danielson Jericho match to be earlier in the card, because we probably could have got like a little quick promo between Moxley and Danielson before the end of the show, before next week, and you could have main evented with the tag titles, because that match was great and would have been a great main event.
I don't hate that. I gotta be honest, the way he booked last week's show and the ratings, the way they kind of dipped throughout, I assume he was looking to hop at the end.
That's why he wanted to put. That's why he put Jericho and Danielson in the main. In the main event, it makes sense. We got Nick Jackson, who says the Grand Slam main event is going to be a banger. BCC for life. Do you think it opens or closes the show?
Ooh, what else is on the show? Women's title match.
The women's title match, which I don't at this point, I don't see main eventing.
How much we've fallen just a year.
You could do the tag team titles in the main event there, especially if Acclaim is winning.
Ooh, okay.
Have the hometown pop to end the show.
I might open with that, actually.
Yeah, probably. That's what I would do. I would definitely have the main event be Moxley and Danielson to make sure people are watching.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? That's how I do it. Open with the tag, and I close with the world title.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked.
Packing Orange Cassidy is going to be really good too.
Sure. If you say so. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a great match. If you don't care who's going to win.
EVB says, I think Mox should beat Danielson in 2 minutes, with Danielson selling his injured leg. Then a week later, Brie Bella comes out for some reason and slaps Bryan into accepting a rematch a week later.
And then Brie bites somebody. And it's way hotter than fucking dummy biting somebody.
I mean, go for it. Go for it. That's what I say.
Feel free. And let her bite.
Michael's,
you know what? This is why for me nice.
Michael says Tony Khan always looks ready to crack, or for crack, or for
Absolutely.
crack. And we also got EBB, who says, I think tag titles open and this main event. So we're in agreement there. Let's give our ratings in the live chat. Let us know your match.
Hey, King doesn't have a match for next week.
I know.
All because he slapped Sammy?
All because he slapped Sammy. Hopefully they got time. You got time. Do a quick promo on Rampage. Give me something.
Oh, give me Eddie promo. I'll do it for Eddie promo on Dynamite.
Yeah, I do for the Eddie promo anyway. So yes, let us know. Match of the night, MVP, LVP, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. And what did you give the show out of 10? Let's put our thumbs in the middle, Jimmy, for the September 14th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up for me. Thumbs in the middle from Jimmy. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
6.5.
That's passing. We went to the same high school. If I got a 65, I passed.
You did not pass with a 65 in fucking Cardinal Hayes. I can tell you never got a 65. Stop it. Don't pass with a 65 in Catholic school. It's 70 and up in all Catholic schools. In my elementary school was 70. I'm pretty sure it was 70 in high school. I did well in high school, though, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it was 70. 70.
I love how you basically say, you a smart nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, come on, man.
I did get a 65, and I consider that passing. So I'm going to give it, out of 10, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Stop it.
8 out of 10.
Stop it. Even when no.
Solid work all around. 3 really good to great matches on this show. Love the main event. Love the tag team titles. Love the opening matchup. Oh. I thought Jungle Boy and Jay Lethal is rock solid. So no complaints. Well, I do have complaints. The Orange Punch. Orange Punch is atrocious. Luigi and Stokely going a little bit longer than he needed to. I thought the women's tag match was really solid as well.
So. Oh, look, Nick Jackson, public school 70 and up too. Holy shit!
He's letting us know. He was in high school. It's farther away. We're farther away from high school than you are.
Hey, I'm glad he raised
he says, Who the fuck passed with a 65%? Public school 70 and up is passing. Same for the year I went to Catholic school.
Holy shit. I did not know public school was 70. I felt better than all you. I mean, I still do, but now I don't have as much of a reason.
CM says 90 plus is passing.
What was I gonna say? Right, Stokely and the group was a bore. Orange Punch was atrocious. Luigi was atrocious. Women's match was a
That
mess.
dude was on new TV for 2 seconds.
Stop it. We're not listen. Was it a segment or not?
He was a character device.
We got a Sanjay Dutt. No, that was bad. And then what followed that immediately was bad. Danhausen and fucking Ethan Page.
Danhausen and Ethan Page was perfectly fine.
Last night's watch along was 10. You really like Assfire, huh? Was gonna say whatever you're into, you're into. I don't knock it. That feet, armpits. Where's armpits at? Armpits not here today. I can't believe how much I missed armpits. What else was awful? Women's match was nah. Booking was mad. We got a Matt Hardy promo. Ugh. We got a Darby doing things. Ugh. We got fucking Sanjay Dutt promo. Ugh. Look. Ugh. Booed all this. Boo. Boo. Moxley Jericho was great. I mean, Jericho and Dragon was great. Come on.
MVP, Jimmy.
Dragon.
I'll go with
Hey, be nice.
Brian. I'll go with co MVP. Bryan Danielson and Swerve in Our Glory. This was probably their best 2-on-2 tag team match. Well, second best next to the Acclaimed at All Out. They've had a hell of a summer. They've been killing it this summer with their output whenever they're given the
Let's
opportunity.
say they haven't booked better than Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. That's something.
They actually feel like the tag team champions. That's one thing that they do. They do though. They do.
I'll be honest with you.
They feel like they're holding it since All Out, but they at least feel like they are the champions.
I'll be honest with you. When I heard tag team title match, I can't be the only one that thought I was going to see FTR on the show. I swear to God, I just thought when they came out with, right, they are the champs.
You right. I go LVP. Who you got for LVP?
Dummy. As per usual. Dummy con. How could it not be? Everything off of the show was not because of the talent's fault. I'll say that.
I'm gonna go with the jobber that faced Powerhouse Hobbs.
Wow.
And I'll go with Jay Lethal because I need him off of my TV.
We wanted to get him out the nigga hole, and now he's out, and we want him to go back in.
Because they using him too much. Take more niggas out the nigga hole. Don't overuse the one nigga that you did.
Niggas are never happy.
Maybe it's just me. EBB says Swerve is fantastic as a douchey heel. I would say he'd be a fantastic TNT champion, but I don't care about that title, so I don't know.
Right? That's somebody else they butchered. What else? I'm gonna make a change, and you're gonna see, and then you're not here. Oh, good job. Impressive.
There you go. There you have it. And match of the night, Jimmy?
Main event. Stop it.
Main event. Yeah. I'll go with the main event. I won't go cold there. I went cold with the MVP, so I can't go cold with the match of the night. So I'll go the main event for match of the night. All right, Jimmy, that's going to bring us to a close on this week's show. You want to let the people know where they can find you on social media and what you got going on this week.
On Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, at Jimmy Macram. We're watching things. I got to be honest, I don't really keep up anymore. I'm mentally exhausted. I'm, what do you call that? Fatigued. I'm fatigued. But you know what? I'm still there. So there's that. Life goes on.
Still there. JimmyMacram.com for the Ascension comic book. You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. You can follow me Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TrueHeelHeat for the gang. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat, $3 a month, the True Hill Heat Prediction Championship, more exclusive content, reviews of Joshi, New Japan Pro Wrestling, plus much, much more over at Patreon.com/True Hill Heat, and for your True Hill Heat merchandise, ProWrestlingTees.com/True Heels. Last call for comments. We got Frantic, who says, good review, guys. See you on the next one. We got Nick Jackson, who says, great stream measures. Well, guys, take care, everyone.
Yes, Michael. Of course JR is fucking right. It doesn't take a fucking genius to figure this shit out. You don't book the main event for your fucking pay-per-view on Dynamite for free and then expect to get a big buy rate, you dolt. Not you. Dummy is. And then you don't put 15 matches on the card.
Because he wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
I've never seen that face. I haven't seen that clip. Oh my God, Dummy's face. Like he got punched in the gut. Oh. Ooh. He went, ooh.
That might be the best one. That might be the best
He's so
one.
not a boss. He's so a boss's son. You can just see it.
But that's gonna bring us to a close. Check us. I'll be back live at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. True Hill Heat 192 on Saturday. We will have special guest Jesse Velasquez of Wrestling's Unplugged and Undeniable. Yes, it's a man.
No, all right, never mind. I was gonna say, how's she look? Not that affects her job, but I am curious.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Hill Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Curiosity? No, you can't be curious anymore. I'm like Drake Bell. I'm just curious about what's going on here. I don't.
Wait, what? Wait, what, Negro? Wait, what? You sound like Drake Bell? I'm just curious. Oh, dude.
I'm joking. He's a creep.
What?
Arrest him. I'm joking.
Check out my interview with former Ring of Honor world champion, Grand Slam champion in Ring of Honor, as well as Impact World Tag Team champion Matt Taven for Jimmy Macram. It is me.
Don't groom people.
It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 59. Bases loaded. We'll be back next Thursday to review AEW Grand Slam. We are signing off until next time.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking